Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is your Valentine's Day one shot. This one is a late one shot and is aptly called Late. This is your present mic ex-female listener. Enjoy. Hey, listener on line 1. You are on air with the hero of the day. What song can I play to save your day? Hizashi asked into the radio mic, his headset sitting proud on his head as he waited for the excited reply from the listener. Oh my gosh, I got through? She asked with amazement. You sure did. It's your lucky day, Hizashi replied loudly in his radio persona voice. Oh, wow, it sure is. Please help me, present Mike. I'm in trouble, the woman begged. How can I help? He asked. Well, I completely forgot about Valentine's Day and I didn't get my partner anything and I haven't planned anything and they're going to kill me, so I need you to play their favourite song so that I'm off the hook for just a little bit and... The woman babbled, spilling everything as quickly as she could. Well, that's no problem at all, Hizashi said loudly. You still have time. After all, Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Shops are still open, so head on down to... But Valentine's Day was yesterday, the woman said. Now, Hizashi was known for his vibrant personality and was praised for the fact that he never left any radio silence during his segments. He always managed to fill in the most static parts of the show. But for the first time in his radio history, there was a deafening radio silence as he just looked up and stared at the guy in the sound booth who was controlling the calls. Yesterday? He finally asked. Yeah, yesterday, the woman confirmed. The guy in the sound booth nodded. Internally, Hizashi started to panic, but outwardly he kept up his radio persona going and laughed heartily. Well, looks like we need to play this song then. What's your request? He asked the woman. She gave the name of the song, and he quickly organised for it to be put on the playlist. Alrighty, keep it classy and turn it up. Here's your saving song. Put your hands up, everyone! He signed off before killing the mic and jumping up. Running to the window that was between his booth and the sound guys, he pressed his hands to the glass and yelled through the pane. Was it really yesterday? He cried, begging for it to be a joke. No joke, it was really yesterday. How'd you miss it, Mike? Everyone was loved up, the guy replied with a chuckle. Why? What's the problem? Hizashi hung his head, hands still pressed to the glass. Oh, I lost. He sighed softly before dropping his hands from the glass and pushing them into his pockets. Did you say you lost? What'd you lose? The guy asked. Hizashi just shook his head dejectedly. It's nothing. Forget I said anything. Sadly, he went back to his seat and slumped down into it, letting his mind go over everything that had happened in the last 3 days. I'm asking her out on Valentine's Day, Hizashi's co-host had smugly announced just a few days earlier. If you're too chicken to get in before me, then it's my win. It's not like Hizashi was chicken, but he just really, really liked you and wanted to approach you when he felt like it was the right time to do so. He didn't appreciate the pressure, but he also didn't want to lose to anyone, especially not to his co-host. Nice guy and all, but certainly not boyfriend material. He, Hizashi, was supposed to be boyfriend material. All he ever thought about these days was walking down Main Street with one arm tightly wrapped around your shoulders. He took his hands from his pockets and smacked his fist down on the desk, startling the guy in the other room who was still watching the mildly irritated Hizashi. How did this happen? How did this happen? Sure, I was working 2 jobs and every day seemed to run into the next with no clear defined beginning and end, like a song montage, but... Yo, Zash, you good? The guy asked, pressing the intercom button to speak through to Hizashi's booth. Hizashi quickly looked up at hearing the guy's voice and quickly covered for himself, grabbing the headphones and putting them onto his head to see where the song was at. Yeah, we're golden in here, all good, he said with a big fake smile. Probably off hand in hand with that. And then the song ended abruptly, and he quickly picked up his persona and addressed the listeners again. Hey, did we enjoy that song or what? He asked. I sure did. A sultry voice purred into the connecting line, and Hizashi's form prickled with excited goosebumps, his body freezing up as he registered the owner of the voice, you, a Miss Yin, the resident DJ and a sexy female feline demi with a Siberian tiger quirk. Just the girl he had a mad crush on and was currently in the middle of berating himself about how he had lost you to his co-host. No one important. Is that you, DJ Sips? He asked with a half smirk. his brain trying to split into two so that he could have two questions running at the same time. One, what's she doing here? And two, does that mean that she's not out with... It sure is, laddie. What's happening? Your voice asked seductively. Hizashi chuckled nervously. Well, I wasn't expecting company on this fine evening, but two in the booth are better than one. Agreed, you purred, the sound of your voice almost giving Hizashi an eargasm. I thought we could open the line and let some lucky listeners help me pick songs for this session tonight. You down? This is why you're the queen of radio, Sibs. Let's do it, he replied enthusiastically. Call now on 35 75 27 to get your pick on the list. It's gonna be a good night. Right you are, baby. How about you play a little favourite of my song then? You asked into the mic that connected your DJ booth to his. Anything for you, Sibs. What's your pick? He asked you brightly, waiting for your reply while staring at the desk since he couldn't see your booth directly. Hold Me by the Throwbacks? You asked. Hizashi got goosebumps from head to toe and blushed madly. That was the song that you were remixing the first night he approached you in the club. He was nervous as all hell, but he still came up to you and tried to flirt. His flirting just ended up making you laugh, but he was happy with the result nonetheless, seeing as you two had been quite close ever since then, and you'd now come across to help him on his radio segment. Sure, let's get to it, folks. Put your hands up, he called as he quickly clicked on the song. The intro started, and he put his headset down, his chair making a racket as it was hastily pushed back so that he could run to your booth. He didn't care now if you were with his co-host, as a couple or whatever. He needed to apologise and tell you how he truly felt about you. It just felt so right to do it now, a day after Valentine's Day. Late, but better late than never. Bolting from the room, he ran down the hall to the door at the end, the one that had your name on it, and burst into the room. Yin, You were sitting neatly on the side of your DJ desk, legs up and crossed one over the other, with your right hand resting gently down on the desk, beside your hip. Body curved naturally into your lean as you gave him a very sexy look. Been waiting for you, you purred, your beautiful Siberian tiger ears twitching a little as your fluffy white tail curled around and rested in your lap. You have? Oh, forgive me for being forward, and I know that I may have already lost the opportunity, but I need to tell you something, Hizashi said, sweating bullets as he began his speech. He got to you before I could. I know, but I've loved you ever since You gently uncrossed your legs and jumped from the desk to walk delicately over to him, keeping your intense feline eyes locked onto him as he stuttered his way through his confession. It's not like you to be lost for words, Yamada Hizashi, he said in a seductive voice. He nearly fainted at the sound of his full name slipping from between your lips. What's this about someone getting to me before you, huh? You asked as you stopped in front of him and rested a delicate hand on his shoulder with your fingers gently touching the back of his neck. His legs went to jelly. My co-host, he won? I know, but... Won? Won what? You asked, tilting your head a little. He got you. Got me? Like a prize? Honey, no one just gets me like a packet from the shelf. I choose who I want, and that little boy isn't for me. I want you. All to myself. You purred, a smirk pulling at your lips. I asked you to play that song for a reason. Poor Hizashi was a blushing, blabbering, quivering mess. Not even the anime gods could save him now. You did? He quivered out, bottom lip shaking as your nails dragged gently up and down the spine of his neck. Yes, because that's the day I met you. I wanted you to be by my side, he said softly but confidently, your voice very sure with its words. Yes, he agreed, stiffening up and lifting his gaze to over your head. Gently you tugged on the back of his neck until you had him bent over a little and could reach your mouth to his. Then you pressed your fluffy ears back a little and locked lips with him in a heated first kiss. Hizashi's soul left his body promptly, and God had to grab his tennis racket to smack it back down to earth again so that the story could continue. And as Hizashi came back to you, he let out a giddy, contented sound. That's to seal the deal. But don't get too comfortable. You won't be getting another kiss like that if you forget Valentine's Day next year, you said, before letting him go and quickly stepping back. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've a DJ session to run. Yes, ma'am. Yin, sir, ma'am. Thank you for the kiss, he blabbered with his single brain cell. You chuckled a little at how just one kiss had completely destroyed him mentally and turned to go back to your desk. Mechanically, Hizashi turned and Robot walked his way to the door, his eyes glazed by love hearts and his mouth half open and drooling slightly. Well, maybe it's a good thing to be late sometimes, he thought as he wobbled his way back to his booth. Hey, party people, let's get it poppin' in here. I'm just waiting for my man, Mike, to get back to his booth so we can set this place on fire, yes? Mike, you with us again? Only just, he said in a dazed voice as he connected in. I just received a late Valentine's gift, and it was the best I've ever received. Can we start with Your Lips by Be Mine, DJ Sips? Because I can't get your lips off my mind, he said, his smoothness trying to come back in boldly. You bit your lip and smirked as you pulled the song up and the intro started. You got it, baby, you replied with a little purring chuckle. And there you have it. There is the Present Mike late Valentine's one-shot. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Belated Valentine's Day to everybody. And I'll see you tomorrow in the next story. See you then.